Hello, my name is Sam. Today we're going to talk about improving your speaking skills in English. I hear this so often, Sam, I can understand English, but I can't speak it. How will I ever be fluent? If this sounds like you, don't worry, you're not alone. And today I'm going to share some powerful tips that will help you speak English with confidence. First, let's talk about the biggest obstacle, fear. A lot of English learners understand the language, but when it's time to speak, they freeze. Maybe you feel nervous, maybe you're scared of making mistakes, or maybe you think people will judge you. Here's the truth. Making mistakes is part of the learning process. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. The only way to improve is to speak, and the more you speak, the easier it gets. So what can you do to start speaking with confidence? My first tip is simple. Talk to native speakers as much as possible. Yes, I know it sounds intimidating, but trust me, it works. If you have the chance to travel or study abroad, take it. Being surrounded by English speakers forces you to practice. But I also understand that not everyone has this opportunity. If you can't travel, don't worry. There are other ways to practice speaking English daily. One effective method is to create a cheat sheet of useful phrases. Instead of memorizing individual words, focus on learning whole phrases and expressions. For example, instead of struggling to decide between "How are you?" and "How's your day going?" just pick one, "How are you doing?" and use it every time. This helps you speak naturally without overthinking. Another great trick is using voice assistants like Siri, Google Assistant, or Alexa. These tools give you instant feedback on your pronunciation. If they don't understand you, it's a sign you need to work on your clarity. It might feel weird talking to your phone, but think of it as a free speaking partner available 24/7. Now, some of you might be thinking, Sam, I'm practicing, but my pronunciation isn't improving. That's where technology comes in. There are fantastic apps designed to help with pronunciation. Another powerful technique is speaking to yourself. Yes, you heard that right. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing throughout the day. I'm making coffee. I'm going to work. I need to call my friend. It might feel strange at first, but it helps you think in English, which is a game changer. When you train your brain to think in English, speaking becomes much easier. Speaking of thinking in English, let's talk about the imitation technique. This is one of my favorite exercises. Find a movie, TV show, or YouTube video with subtitles. Listen to a sentence, read it, pause, and then repeat it out loud, exactly the way the native speaker says it. Try to copy their tone, pronunciation, and rhythm. Take it a step further by changing a few words in the sentence to make it your own. This not only improves your pronunciation, but also helps you sound more natural. And here's a pro tip. Exaggerate when you practice. Yes, exaggerate. When you mimic native speakers, you might feel like you're overdoing it, but that's actually a good thing. Your brain is used to your native language's sounds, so speaking English might feel unnatural at first. Exaggerating helps you break out of that habit and develop a more authentic accent. Finally, let's talk about the ultimate goal. Thinking in English. This is the key to fluency. At first, you'll catch yourself thinking in your native language and then translating into English. That's normal. But every time you notice this happening, stop and switch back to English. The more you do this, the faster your brain will adapt. Eventually, English will become second nature, and you won't need to translate anymore. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. Sam, how can I think in English if I don't live in an English-speaking country? I get it, but here's the thing. If you surround yourself with English every day, through music, podcasts, movies, and conversations, it will start to happen naturally. I remember when I traveled to the UK, after just 1 week of speaking only English, I started thinking in English too. And when I returned home, I learned how to switch between languages effortlessly. This is something you can train your brain to do. So let's recap. To improve your English speaking skills, speak every day, even if it's just to yourself. Use a cheat sheet with useful phrases. Practice with voice assistants for pronunciation feedback. Use the imitation technique with movies and videos. Exaggerate when practicing to sound more natural. Train your brain to think in English. Remember, fluency doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice you will get there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start speaking today. Thank you for watching this video. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to speaking English? I'd love to help.